Who are the Tamil people? அதாவது இந்த வீடியோவை கொஞ்சம் வருஷமாக நான் பார்க்கணும்னு நினச்சிட்டு இருந்தேன். கடைசியாக அவங்க கூட தான் நான் பார்க்கணுன்னு எனக்கு கொடுத்து வச்சிருக்கு. ஓகே வாங்கலாம். ஓகே வாங்கலாமா? ஓகே வாங்க பார்க்கலாம்.
This video is sponsored by CuriosityStream. Get access to Nebula Stream using the link in the description.
Okay.
This is South India, home to the biodiversity hotspots, the Western and Eastern Ghats.
ரெண்டுமே டிஃபரன்ஸ் பார்த்தீங்களா? இங்கே எவ்வளோ பச்சை பச்சேன்னு இருக்கு, எவ்வளோ மஞ்சேன்னு இருக்கு. ஏன் நம்ம ஊரை வந்து பச்சை பச்சைன்னு மாற்ற முடியாதா என்ன?
India, home to the biodiversity hotspots, the Western and Eastern Ghats, the Bengal tiger, the Nilgiri tar, the Indian elephant, and whatever this creature is. Bengal tiger, the Nilgiri tar, the Indian elephant, and whatever this.
ஆக்சுவலி இதே மாதிரி ஃப்ராக் வந்து நம்ம சவுத் இந்தியா ப்ளஸ் சவுத் இந்தியா ஏதோ ஒரு கேரளா ஃபாரஸ்டா சம்திங் ஏதோ நினைக்கிறேன் அங்கே ப்ளஸ் ஆப்பிரிக்காவில் இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இந்த தவளையா என்ன ஜென்மனே தெரியல.
Creature is. Here is also the cradle of Tamil culture. Today there are about 80 million Tamils in the world. That's
80 million. 80 millionனா 10 லட்சம். 80 millionனா 8 கோடி. அவ்வளோதான் இருக்குமா என்ன?
It's more than there are French, Colombians, or Kenyans. Most Tamils live in North and East Sri Lanka or in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, literally Tamil country. Tamil Nadu is now a state in modern India, but for thousands of years, Tamilakam, or the homeland of the Tamils, was much larger and ruled by independent kingdoms. Tamil culture is
There are Sola Pandya. Hey, who's that? Hey,
the last surviving classical civilization because they've managed to keep their beliefs, culture, and language intact for over 2,000 years. But who are the Tamils? What is their story? And what does it have to do with $700 billion golden coconuts?
$700 billion coconut?
Well, let's find out. The Tamils, maybe more than any other people, are in love with their language.
Of course.
Tamil writing has been dated as far back as the 6th century BCE from the archaeological site Kairadi in India and from the 2nd century BCE at Punakari in Sri Lanka, making it one of the oldest datable languages still in use. Tamils often call their language Tamartai, which means the Tamil mother. It's more important to the Tamil identity than land, race, or religion. If you want to have the most intense conversation of your entire life, just go ask a
கண்டிப்பா. The Tamil is the oldest language. இந்த கேள்வி கேட்பானுங்கல்ல, which is the oldest language in the world? தமிழா சான்ஸ்கிரிட்டா? அப்பா நம்ம தமிழ் மக்கள் நம்ம ஆர்கியூ பண்ணுவோமே, ஒத்தனை விடுறது இல்லை. எவனாச்சும் மாற்றி சொல்லிட்டா செத்தான் அவன்.
Tamil person anything about the Tamil language. Tamils also take pride in the independent origin of their language. See, you can roughly divide India linguistically in half. North Indians generally speak languages descended from Sanskrit, an Indo-European language. This language family stretches from North India all the way over to Iceland. South Indian languages like Tamil belong to a completely unrelated language family called Dravidian. Unlike Sanskrit, which like Latin is no longer spoken, modern Tamil survives as a living language for millions of speakers. Dravidians do not like it when North India tries to push its culture or language on the south. The earliest clear evidence of Tamil people are urn burials dating from around 1000 BCE at Adich and Alor. Amazingly, they found evidence there of the worship of a god with a trident and a peacock, very like the Hindu Tamils' favourite god today, Murugan. But the Tamils really leap into world history when the Maurya Emperor Ashoka mentions the unconquerable southern Tamil kingdoms in his.
அசோகாவை பற்றி நம்ம நிறைய புக்கில் படிச்சிருக்கோம். நம்ம தமிழ் மன்னர்களை பற்றி கொஞ்சமாக படிச்சிருக்கோம். நம்ம இப்போ வரைக்கும் அசோகா ஞாபகம் இருக்குது. ஆனால் எனக்கு நம்ம ராஜாக்கள் சேர சோழ பாண்டிய மன்னர்களை பற்றி எனக்கு சுத்தமாக ஞாபகம் இல்லை. ஏன் நான் மறந்துட்டேனா இல்லை நமக்கு இன்னும் நிறைய சொல்லி தரலையா?
Rock inscriptions made between 273 and 232 BCE, which is impressive when you consider the fact that the Maurya Empire essentially conquered everything else. This is right around the beginning of a Tamil golden age known as the Sangam period, lasting from the 3rd century BCE to the 3rd century CE. At this time, Tamilakam was ruled by 3 Tamil dynasties: the Solas, the Seras, and the Pandyas. Unfortunately, there were no actual Pandas in the Pandya kingdom. I know. The Tamil kings were immeasurably rich and used their wealth to sponsor century-long poetry slams, called the Sangams at the Pandya capital, Madurai, where male and female poets would show off their works. These poets created thousands of poems, books, and epic stories called Sangam literature. Sangam literature is unique in how it doesn't seem to belong to any single class or religion. It was written by and concerns Hindus, Jains, men, women, farmers, kings, pandas, non-pandas.
நம்ம தமிழ் இலக்கியமா இலக்கியங்கள் நினைக்கிறேன். சாதி மதம் எதுவும் பார்க்காம ஃபுல் ஹியூமானிட்டிக்காக மோஸ்டா எல்லாமே நினைக்கிறேன். ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட கேஸ்ட் குறிப்பிட்ட மதத்துக்கு மட்டும் இல்லாம ஓவராலா யாதும் ஊரே யாவலும் கிளியர் அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாருக்கும்.
Pandas and everyone in between. One great Sangam poet, Poon Kun Krenar, emphasized the equality of all humans, saying, "I am a citizen of the world, and everyone in the world is related to me." This was quoted by one of India's most beloved presidents, the Tamil Muslim aerospace scientist Abdul Kalam, at the European Parliament in 2007. The Sangam literature tells us about a rich, cosmopolitan and multi-ethnic Tamil-speaking society 2,000 years ago, where Hinduism, Jainism and Buddhism all coexisted peacefully, where kings would even invite priests to public debates on their beliefs. Sangam poems describe Madurai as so rich that it had a moat with secret underground passages large enough for elephants. Greek mercenaries guarded its gates.
எலிஃபென்ட்டுக்கு அண்டர் கேரேஜா? எலிஃபென்ட் எவ்வளவு ஹைட்டா இருக்கும்? எலிஃபென்ட்டுக்கு அண்டர் கிரவுண்ட்ல நம்ம ஆட்கள் அந்த டைம்ல மாஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்களே.
And the scent of perfume could be smelled miles away from the city, where there were folks of every race buying and selling in the bazaars or singing to the music of wandering bands. So how were the Tamils so rich? They were spicy. The ancient world was a bland, flavourless, unseasoned mess. It tasted a lot like English food.
இங்கிலீஷ் ஃபுட். அதாவது இங்கிலீஷ்காரங்க நம்மளை அந்த ஆண்டு அடிமைப்படுத்தினதே அந்த ஸ்பைஸ் வேண்டிதான். ஸ்டில் நம்ம ஆண்டு நம்ம அடிமைப்படுத்தி நம்ம மொத்த ஸ்பைஸ் எடுத்தாலுமே அவனுக்கு ஃபுட்ல ஸ்பைஸ் யூஸ் பண்ண மாட்டானுங்க. சொர்ண கட்ட போயிடுங்க.
This was until the Tamils taught everyone the way of the spice. A 1st century CE Greek manual for sailors, the Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, says that the Tamils exported pepper and other spices along with diamonds, woven textiles, pearls, ivory, malabadrum and other luxury items. What's malabadrum? Who cares? It sounds luxurious though. Another major export was cotton and silk clothing woven by women. Indian women would dominate.
இப்போ அந்த பட்டு நெய்தலாம் இருக்கா என்ன? முன்னாடி ஒரு தறின்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, தறியில செய்வாங்கல்ல, அதெல்லாம் இப்போ உயிரோட இருக்கா இல்லையா? மொத்தமா முடிஞ்சிருச்சா? அதெல்லாம் எப்படி இருந்திருக்கல நம்ம?
Dominate this global trade for the next 2,000 years. Tamils traded so much that Pliny the Elder said India takes 100 million sesterces from our empire per year at a conservative estimate. That's about 10 tons of gold. China had the Silk Road, the Tamils had the Flavor Highway? No, the Spice Boulevard. Whatever. They made themselves the centre of a global trade network that linked Europe, the Middle East, Africa, India, Southeast Asia and China. We've discovered massive hoards of Chinese, Iranian and Roman coins along the ancient Tamil coast. Tamil inscriptions have been found as far apart as Egypt and Thailand. A statue of the Hindu goddess Lakshmi got buried at Pompeii.
Actually, இங்க நான் ஜப்பான்ல கேள்விப்பட்டேன். ஜப்பான்ல வந்து ஜப்பான்ல சைனாவா இல்ல சைனா நினைக்கிறேன். சைனாவில் ஒரு ஓரமா ஃபுல்லா தமிழ், அதாவது தமிழ்நாட்டுல வந்து ஒரு கிராமமே, அதாவது போய் வந்து நம்ம கப்பல்ல இதெல்லாம் போவாங்க, டிராவல் பண்ணி போவாங்கல்ல அந்த காலத்துல, போய் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட செட் ஆஃப் பீப்புளை வந்து அங்கேயே ஸ்டே பண்ணி ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு கிராமம் மாதிரியே உருவாக்கிறாங்க. நான் கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கேன், அது உண்மையான தெரியல.
Tamil ambassadors met with Augustus Caesar in 20 CE. This
sir.
trade made Tamil cooking the first international cuisine in the world. The
Oh,
word orange comes from the Tamil naram. Ginger comes from Tamil inchivar. And
oh,
rice in loads of European languages comes from the Tamil arisi. Without the Tamils,
okay, okay.
Ireland's greatest contribution to world cuisine, the spice bag, would not exist. And honestly, I don't want to live in that kind of world. One Roman cookbook had over 300 recipes using Indian spices, from ostrich curry to tasty peppered brain sausage, or everyone's favourite, another laxative. Link to the cookbook is in the description, in case you need a lecture.
Abavi.
Tamils got so rich off of their trade routes that just one temple, the Padmanabhaswamy temple, whose vaults were recently opened, has a treasure worth over $700 billion.
$700 billion அப்படின்னு இருந்துச்சுல்லாடி.
This was accumulated over thousands of years from the donations from Tamil dynasties like the Seras, the Pandyas, the Pallavas, and the Solas. Some of the things in the temple include this golden Mahavishnu statue, tens of thousands of gold coins, a solid gold
Game of Thrones இல்ல அது?
throne, golden elephants, a 5-meter long diamond necklace, and
5 மீட்டரா? 5 மீட்டர்னா இவ்வளோ பெருசு எதுக்கு? மேபி அந்த யானைக்கு போடுவாங்களோ?
my personal
5 meter
favorite,
diamond.
a 30-kilogram solid gold coconut. At what point does that stop being a coconut and start being a bowling ball? There are still unopened vaults in this temple, so we're still unsure of how much it's worth.
ஆக்சுவலி இந்த கோவில் தானே 7 ரூம் இருக்குன்னா எனக்கு தெரியல கிளியரா. 7 ரூம் இருக்கு. அதில் ஒரு ரூம் வந்து ஓப்பன் பண்ணா உள்ள பிரபஞ்சமே உள்ள இருக்கு. அதனால அந்த ரூம் ஓப்பன் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு ஏதோ இது யாரோ கதை சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. உண்மையா போய் என்னன்னு தெரியல, ஏமாத்திட்டாங்களான்னு தெரியல.
Tamil merchants, monks, and craftspeople worked across Southeast Asia and lived in small communities there. Tamil merchants didn't just trade pepper with Southeast Asia, they traded the spiciest thing of all: ideas.
Oh.
From the 4th century CE on, kingdoms from Thailand to Vietnam to Indonesia were ruled by Hindu kings and wrote using Tamil writing. Modern Khmer, Javanese, and Thai scripts all descend from the Tamil Pallava script. The greatest monument to this cultural exchange is the originally Hindu temple of Angkor Wat in Cambodia, the largest religious structure on earth.
Okay.
By the end of the 13th century, we even find the Tamil Hindu temple dedicated to Shiva all the way over in the Chinese port of Qinzhou, where a small Tamil community lived. The wealth and fame of the Tamil lands invited more than just merchants. A small Jewish community could be found in Kochi from the 6th century BCE. More even came as refugees after the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. And according to local tradition, the Jews were followed by St. Thomas, the apostle of Jesus, who landed in India in 52 CE and started converting people to Christianity. From Thomas, India's current Syrian Christian community claims descent. In 629 CE, a mosque was built by Muslim merchants in Muziris, and you can still go visit it today, or a part of it at least, because the Portuguese blew it up in 1504, but it's still cool. You can still see some of it. Okay, so we're going to do a little time jump here. Let's see. Invaded by Buddhist warrior tribes, Jainism and Buddhism take over for a bit, rise of the Pallava dynasty, Hindu revival. Here it is. After the Sangam period, the next great Tamil golden age happened under the Sola dynasty, between the 9th and 13th centuries.
Canva, dil se design tak.
Their greatest king, Raja Sola, rose to the throne in 985 CE. He and his son quickly turned his modest kingdom into an empire that conquered most of South India, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives. The Sola used their massive navy, the largest in Asia at the time, to control the trade routes between Southeast Asia and China. When the Srivijaya Empire threatened to block Sola access to the Straits of Malacca, the Solas launched massive naval attacks across Indonesia and Malaysia, and even kidnapped the Srivijaya king.
பாவீங்களா, கடல் விட்டு கடல் தாண்டி போய் ஒரு ராஜாவே தூக்கிட்டு வரானுங்க. இவ்வளவு பெரிய இடத்துல இருப்பாங்க நம்ம ஆட்கள். நம்ம அப்பவே மாசா இருந்திருக்காங்கல்ல.
And no one ever messed with their trade routes ever again. Along with an army containing 60,000 war elephants, the
60,000 60,000 60,000 யானைகள். இப்ப இந்த உலகத்திலே இந்த 60,000 யானைகள் இருக்கா என்ன உயிரோட? மொத்தத்தையும் கொண்டு தான் கொன்றாங்களோ?
Sola King's personal guard included the Padimuglir, or women bodyguards trained in Tamil martial arts and weapons. There are also mentions of women working as advisors and ambassadors, and using their own money to make large donations to temples. Raja Sola poured his enormous wealth into building massive temples in a style called Dravidian architecture. The most well known of these being the Raja
கைஸ் அது திராவிடியன் ஆர்க்கிடெக்சரா இல்ல நம்ம தமிழ் ஆர்க்கிடெக்சரா? எனக்கு தெரியல. ஏன்னா இப்போ ராஜராஜ சோழன் வந்து தமிழ். கோயில் வந்து தமிழ்நாட்டுல இருக்கு. ஸோ அது திராவிடியன் வருமா இல்ல அது தமிழ்ல வருமா? எனக்கு தெரியல. ஸோ டீச் மீ.
Jeswara temple in Tanjavur. This 66-meter tall soaring monument to Raja was one of the tallest buildings in the world at the time. Other than Raja temple, other
அண்ட் அந்த கோயில் டாப் இருக்கிற அந்த டாப் கல் வந்து 8 டன்னா 8 டன்னா 8 டன் நினைக்கிறேன். அது வந்து கோயில் மேலே ஃபுல்லாக ரேம் போட்டு இழுத்துட்டு போய் மேலே வச்சாங்கன்னு கேள்விப்பட்டேன். ஒரு கோயில் ஹைட்டுக்கு ரேம், அதாவது ஃபுல்லாக ரேம் போட்டாங்க அப்படின்னா அதெல்லாம் இவ்வளோ பெரிய விஷயம் இல்லை.
Sola/Dravidian architecture is also breathtaking, like the Iarateswara temple, the Kankikonta Solapuram temple, and the Champakaresuvarara temple. Sola temples also acted as banks. These temples received massive donations from the royals, and then they offered loans from those donations to farmers, villages, and merchants. Sola temples became this weird vehicle for
இப்போ ஃபுல்லாக அப்படியே ஆப்போசிட்ல இருக்குல்ல. கீழே 2 பேர் அப்படியே கலெக்ட் பண்ணி கோயிலுக்கு போயிட்டு கோயிலேருந்து கவர்மெண்ட் போதா என்ன? இப்போ கோயிலேருந்து கலெக்ட் பண்ணி அதை கோயிலுக்கு யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்களா இல்லை கவர்மெண்ட் எடுத்துப்பாங்களா? எனக்கு எதுவுமே தெரியாது, கொஞ்சம் சொல்லிதாங்க ப்ளீஸ்.
redistributing wealth and reinvesting it in arts and local communities, making everyone richer. It's no wonder why when Marco Polo came here in 1273, he called the Sola lands the richest province on earth. Sola power declined in the 12th and 13th centuries. Buddhism and Islam replaced Hinduism in Southeast Asia, and Tamil lands in Kerala drifted away and developed their own language and culture, which resulted in the modern Malayalam language. Okay, so we're going to need to do another time jump. You have Muslim invasions from the north, rise of the Vijayanagara, who built the world's second largest city, arrival of the Portuguese, destruction of the Vijayanagara by Muslim armies, Tamil lands fracture into small states, and here it is. No, it can't be. Not you again. Tally ho, 'tis a smashing civilization you've got there. 'Twould be a shame if someone were to plunder it. Tamilakam was split into small, competing states in the 17th century, which made it easier for the newly arriving European powers to invade. By the end of the
As in the British people ரூல் பண்ணாத கண்ட்ரி எது? எல்லா இடத்தையும் பிடிச்சிட்டாங்கல்ல அவங்க. நான் லைக் பிரிட்டிஷ் பீப்புள் வந்து போகாத கண்ட்ரி இல்லைல்ல அவங்க.
18th century, most of South India was under British rule. The Tamils resisted the British invasion. One example is that of the Queen of Shivaganga, Velu Nachiyar. To protect her kingdom from invasion, she built an army to resist the British imperialists. This army included a regiment of women soldiers. One of them, Kulili, volunteered to destroy a vital British ammunition depot that was located inside a temple. Kulili and her fellow warriors easily entered the temple as worshippers because the British thought women were harmless. Unable to sneak weapons in, they poured oil over Kulili, who then set herself on fire and leapt into the ammunition depot, blowing it up and securing victory for her queen.
இவ்வளவு தைரியம் இருக்குல்ல அதுக்கெல்லாம். வா, இந்த காலத்துல அப்படி யாருமே பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. வாய்ப்பே கிடையாது. Goosebumps, guys, goosebumps.
In the following battles, becoming the first woman martyr in India's long battle for freedom. Despite acts like this, by 1858, the British Crown had seized control of all of India. Famine quickly swept South India between 1876 and 1878, killing 8 million people. With the area devastated by famine, the British could dismantle the over 2,000-year-old Tamil textile industry. as British textile manufacturers couldn't compete with Tamil textiles, so they destroyed all the Indian looms. Then they pushed Tamils out of work as craftspeople and onto tea, sugar, coffee and opium plantations in India, or sent them off across their empire as indentured servants. John Sullivan, a colonial official in southern India, said, under their own dynasties, all the revenue that was collected in the country was spent in the country. Our system acts very much like a sponge, drawing up all the good things from the banks of the Ganges and squeezing them out on the banks of the Thames. India would eventually win its independence from Britain in 1947. In the first 2 decades of Indian independence, language became a battlefield in India. In 1950, Hindi, the most spoken language in India, was selected as the sole official language of the country, with 1965 picked as the year the changeover from English would happen. Speakers of the Dravidian languages in the south didn't like Hindi because it was Sanskrit based, which they considered more alien than English. As 1960
Kiss English. அதாவது ஹிந்தி ஒரு வைரஸ் மாதிரி, கிட்டத்தட்ட கோவிட் மாதிரி. ஹிந்தியை மதிக்க ஹிந்தியை நாங்க மூச்சு கூட விட மாட்டோம் ஹிந்திங்கிற காத்த. எவ்வளவு பெரிய அப்போ வரையா இருந்திருக்காங்கல்ல.
65 approached, thousands of Tamil student protesters shouted, "Hindi never, English ever," in the streets of Seni. 4 students set themselves on fire as a symbol of non-violent protest. Dravidian political parties made it clear that if Hindi became the official language of India, then Tamil Nadu would secede from India. The protesters won. The Official Languages Act Amendment of 1967 ensured the continued use of English alongside Hindi as the official language of India up until today. Even now in India, Tamil Nadu is famous for its independent streak, love of its culture and language, and for acting as the champion of Dravidian politics against the north. But Tamils don't only live in Tamil Nadu. Just a few kilometers away from there is the island nation known today as Sri Lanka, where Tamils make up 15% of the population. Sri Lanka is home to several ethnic groups. The mostly Buddhist Sinhalese are the majority, and the mostly Hindu Tamils are the second largest group. Both groups have been on the island for over 2,000 years. This island was known as Ceylon when it suffered 3 centuries of colonialism under Portugal, the Netherlands, and then the British Empire took over in 1796. When the British arrived, they were like, how can I make everything worse? Let's introduce inter-ethnic conflict. In the 19th and early 20th centuries,
வேணா பிளான் பண்ணி பண்ணுவானுங்களா என்ன? எல்லாமே பிளான் பண்ணி பண்ணானுங்களா இல்ல
spur hatred, the British chose Tamils for higher positions than the Sinhalese in the government. Then in the Sri Lankan highlands, Sinhalese lands were seized by the British and enslaved Tamils from India were settled there as plantation workers. These are Indian Tamils, distinct from the Sri Lankan Tamils who have lived in Sri Lanka for much, much longer. Sri Lankan Tamils live in the north and east. Indian Tamils live in the central highlands, and the Sinhalese live essentially everywhere else. When the British got kicked out of Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, in 1948, the majority Sinhalese took control of the island. Sinhalese nationalism exploded, and soon anti-Tamil massacres swept the island in 1956, 1958, and 1977, which led to the formation of a guerrilla fighting group known as the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, better known as the Tamil Tigers. On the 31st of May 1981, the Sri Lankan police burned the Jaffna Public Library to the ground, home to 97,000 books and containing irreplaceable artifacts of Tamil history. Seeing the fire, one Tamil refugee said, "It was as if my entire biography, my history and the history of the Tamils had been destroyed, wiped from the face of the earth as if we did not exist." On July 23rd, 1983, the Tamil Tigers ambushed and killed 15 Sri Lankan soldiers, causing another anti-Tamil massacre to sweep the country in an event known as Black July. The Sri Lankan Civil War had begun. The Tamil Tigers were fighting for an independent Tamil nation in the Tamil parts of the island. As the war dragged on over decades, the Tamils became infamous for inventing the explosive suicide vest and for carrying out a suicide bombing campaign across Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan army retaliated with brutal attacks against the Tamil Tigers, which mostly resulted in the deaths and displacement of tens of thousands of innocent Tamil civilians. The Sri Lankan state is still undergoing investigations for committing a genocide against the Tamils. This bloody war dragged on for 26 years, until the 18th of May 2009, when the leader of the Tamil Tigers, V. Pirapakaran, was killed and the Tigers surrendered. The war took the lives of over 100,000 people, with 40,000 Tamil civilians being killed in the final few months of the war. These are rough estimates because a proper investigation hasn't been done. The war caused a mass exodus of Sri Lankan Tamil refugees to India, Australia, Europe and North America. Today around 8 million Tamils live outside of India and Sri Lanka. From the 19th century onwards, they went as indentured labourers across the British Empire, especially to Malaysia, Singapore, South Africa, Fiji, Mauritius and the Caribbean, where many have kept their Tamil identities. Tamil is actually an official language in Singapore and Malaysia. Well, I think now it's time to take a look at Tamil culture. Religion. Today about 88% of the Tamil population of Tamil Nadu are Hindus, 6% are Christians, 5.8% are Muslims, and Jains, Buddhists and Sikhs make up the rest. The most important Tamil festival is Thai Pongal, a harvest festival dedicated to the Hindu sun god Surya that usually occurs on the 14th of January. This festival is celebrated by all Tamils regardless.
பொங்கல்லாம் முன்னாடி தான் ஒரு வெறியா இருக்கும். பொங்கல் வரப்போகுது அப்படின்னு. வயசாயிருச்சா என்னன்னு தெரியல. இப்போ வர எந்த ஃபெஸ்டிவல் எதுவுமே வந்து ஒரு ஹைப்பாவே இல்ல. மேபி நம்ம வாழ்க்கைய ஃபுல்லா ஃபோன்லயே தொலைச்சிட்டோம் போல. எல்லாம் முன்னாடியெல்லாம் பெரிய ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் வருது. ஏதாவது திருவிழாவோ எதுனாலும் சரி, ஒரு வரப்போது முன்னாடி ஒரு அவ்வளோ எக்ஸைட்மெண்டா இருக்கும். இப்போ வரதும் தெரியல, போறதும் தெரியல.
Regardless of religion though. Pongal means to boil or overflow and refers to the traditional dish of new harvest rice boiled in milk with raw sugar. Pongal celebrations include decorating cows, ritual bathing, parades, prayers, dances, creating art, and getting together with friends and family and exchanging gifts. During Pongal in Tamil Nadu, you might also see a Jallikutta. In this over 2,000-year-old sport, an Indian bull is released into
இந்த ஜல்லிக்கட்டு போராட்டம் ஞாபகம் கைஸ். மறக்கவே முடியாது. அதாவது வாழ்க்கையில பிறந்து நம்ம மேபி நம்ம ஜென்ரேஷன் நினைக்கிறேன். வாழ்க்கையில பிறந்து போராடி பெற்ற வெற்றி. எனக்கெல்லாம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் போராடி பெற்ற முதல் வெற்றி அதுதான். நான் மெரினா பீச்சுனா போராட்டத்துக்கு போனேன். மறக்க முடியாது.
To a crowd of people, and men attempt to grab the hump on the bull's back with both arms and hang on to it for as long as possible, attempting to bring the bull to a full stop, thus taming the bull. If they do so, they get a prize. If no one tames the bull, the owner of the bull gets a prize. There have been many attempts to ban this sport in recent years, which has caused massive popular backlash.
Yes.
Another interesting Tamil holiday is a May festival for the god Aravan, who is worshipped by transgender people called Terunar in Tamil. At this annual festival at Kovakam, you'll see ceremonial marriages between festival goers and the god Aravan, along with beauty pageants and dances hosted with the support of the Tamil Nadu government. In 2008, Tamil Nadu became the first state in India to allow people to legally identify as a third gender. Arts. Tanjavur paintings and solar bronzes are some of the Tamils' greatest contributions to world art.
இந்த பெயிண்டிங்ஸ் எல்லாம் 2 லட்சம் 4 லட்சம்லாம் போகுது. நான் எங்கேயோ ஒரு வீட்டில் பார்த்தேன். அப்பதான் கேட்டேன் எவ்வளோ இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு. நம்ம எங்கன்னா ஒரு 10,000 20,000 அந்த மாதிரி எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணேன். சொல்றாங்க 4 லட்சம் 5 லட்சமா ஃபுல்லாக அதெல்லாம் கோல்டு தான்.
Art.
மேபி நம்ம ரொம்ப போரா இருக்கும், நமக்கு எப்படி விஷயம் இருக்குன்னு தெரியாம இருக்கு.
One of the more humble yet distinct features of Tamil art is the kolam, which decorates the front of almost every Tamil home. These are geometrical and floral designs made of rice flour. Each day the kolam is crafted by women and then erased the next morning to make room for a new one. Today in Tamil Nadu, huts to 5-star hotels will all have a kolam. One of the most treasured pieces of Tamil literature is the Tirukkural by Tiruvulluvar, which has its origins in the Sangam period.
Nice. Fun fact. நான் 4ஆம் கிளாஸ்ல 5ஆம் கிளாஸ்ல நினைக்கிறேன் 100 திருக்குறள் காணாம படிச்சுக்கிட்டு சொல்லியிருக்கேன் போய். யாராச்சும் நம்ப முடியுதா? இப்பதான் நமக்கு முன்னாடி 100 திருக்குறள் காணாம படிச்சுட்டு போயிட்டு மனப்பாடம் படிச்சுட்டு போய் 100 திருக்குறள் சொல்லி நான் வந்து தமிழ் புலவர் அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஷீல்டு கொடுப்பாங்க. அதே வாங்கி வீட்டில் வச்சிருக்கேன். அதெல்லாம் யோசிச்சு பார்த்தா அப்போ அவ்வளோ அறிவு இருந்திருக்கு நமக்கு. சாரி எனக்கு, உங்களுக்கு எப்படின்னு தெரியல. எனக்கு அவ்வளோ அறிவு இருந்திருக்கு. இப்பதான் நம்ம மக்குக்கு மாறிட்டேன். சேட்.
but was finalized a few centuries after.
எங்க என்ன மாறுச்சு ஒன்றும் புரியல எனக்கு.
This is a masterpiece in ethics and living well. The Tirukkural is made up of 3 books of wise sayings on virtue, wealth, and love, all delivered in quick 2-line poems. For example, the greatest virtue of all is non-killing. Truthfulness cometh only next. It also just stops midway and talks about how to build good forts, and I'm always down for some fort talk. Charity and kindness are also key aspects, and it emphasises non-violence and vegetarianism. Avoidance of killing and eating the meat of even one animal is more meritorious than 1,000 sacrifices. The Tirukkural is vital to Tamil culture. It pops up in songs, films, and books. Every bus in Tamil Nadu is legally obligated to have a verse from the Tirukkural on it.
Yes.
One of the Tamil's most famous dances is Bharatanatyam.
Bharatanatyam.
This dance tells a story through complicated mudras, or hand gestures, facial expressions, and body posture. It also just looks incredible. Food. Rice is the staple of the mostly vegetarian Tamil diet. Bananas and plantains, jackfruit, coconut, lentils, tamarind, and mango are also commonly used ingredients, along with a huge amount of spices. Traditionally, a Tamil meal is eaten off of a banana leaf. Some favourite Tamil foods include the light and fluffy idli, the fried and spicy vadai, the crispy dosa,
Yes.
and the delicious fried banana bonda. And no Tamil dish is complete without a side of sambar, chutney.
கைஸ், நீங்க மெதுவடன்னு சொல்லுவீங்களா இல்லை உளுந்த வடை சொல்லுவீங்களா? எங்கள் ஊரில் நாங்கள் உளுந்த வடை தான் சொல்லுவோம்.
Or in Sri Lanka, coconut sambal. Tamils also love their coffee, which they brew in this unique South Indian device. Cinema. Tamil people are passionate about cinema. Based in the Kodobakkam neighbourhood in Sena, the Tamil film industry, or Kollywood, is the second largest film industry in India. Mani Ratnam's gangster epic Nayakam was included in Time magazine's 100 best movies of all time list. I actually watched a movie with one of Tamil cinema's superstars, Rajinikanth, where this happens, and it was an absolutely amazing few hours. Tamil cinema has even bled into Tamil politics. 3 chief ministers of the Tamil Nadu state have risen out of Tamil cinema. Tamil cinema acts as a way for Tamils to preserve their independent and original culture by producing films in the Tamil language based on Tamil ideas and culture.
இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது நம்ம எவ்வளோ கஷ்டப்பட்டிருக்கோம் தமிழர்களா. நம்ம இதிலெல்லாம் சிறப்பு மிக்கவர்களாக இருந்திருக்கோம். எல்லாம் புரியுது. இப்போ என்ன பண்ணுறோம்? இன்ஸ்டாகிராம் டான்ஸ் ஆடிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். சால் நோ டைம் காகிட்டோ. இன்னும் ஒரு ஃபாரின் சேனல் தமிழ் பீப்புளை பற்றி கவர் பண்ணி போட்டிருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணுங்க, அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணுங்க.